We all know about Adult Swim and their crazy marketing. You know those types of marketing? Like for example on April Fool's Day, they showed the entire Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, but only in the bottom right corner screen in micro scale. And let's not forget about Learning with Pibby and the Learning with Pibby April Fool's broadcast, which has become popular. We all know about that. Adult Swim is one of those companies that is so unique and special that you can't just help but love it. But there is one bumble that many people remember but will creep out about. The Dawn is Your Enemy bumble that played when the channel was over. You wanna know why you don't see that bumble anymore and why they don't air it? Well, in this story, we'll finally get to learn the reason why, and believe me, it's quite strange. So, get comfortable, now let's listen to the story. 2. The Dawn is Your Enemy. You guys all know that Adult Swim sign-off bumble, The Dawn is Your Enemy. There was a reason they don't show it anymore. The last day the bump was used as a sign-off instead of a normal running time of an estimated 9 seconds. It ran for an extended period of time until the automated services were overtaken by manual operation. We all know the sound that shook our childhoods or teen years. The resounding metal, the rumbles, the sound of metal scraping against metal. Feel free to look it up if you're feeling a bit rusty, pun intended. Now, when the audio cuts out, it doesn't sound complete, not finished, not over. The producers of Adult Swim / Cartoon Network were purposely cutting off the rest of the sound, and for good reason too. The rest that followed is the exact reason why you'll never see this bumble again on the air. Once again, it supposedly only ran for about 9 seconds, and this is a transcript of the usual audio. Resounding metal, followed by a rumble, followed by scraping metal, and another rumble, and bumble. So what could you piece together with that? Nothing rings a bell, right? Exactly. This part that they use is utilized effectively to scare our children that will still tune in to Adult Swim. It even gives a gosh goosebumps because it's that good. It closely rivaled with the hammer clanks in the Williams Street production card in Nightmare Fuel. Getting back on topic, usually a Cartoon Network employee would enter the control room left by an Adult Swim crew member and take over for a day. It wasn't quite the case that day, however. The usual man schedule to cue the sign-on and such programming for Cartoon Network for some reason did not start up the day schedule. No one knows if he did this purposely or whether his contract was terminated or not. This was the least of the problems Cartoon Network had at the time. What followed the common 9 seconds was an extended 2-minute broadcast of some of the most horrifying audio ever heard on public television. The metal continued to resonate, and the scraping continued. Slowly, an uncontrollable sobbing came clear. Not one person was crying, but a multitude of people were screaming and yelling. As the metal scraped, the screaming grew louder. Soon, you could hear the slicing of flints, the grinding of bones, the gushing of blood, and the guttural death rattles of people dying. All across the United States, millions of children and adults were being exposed to what sounded like a ballistic mass murder. People were calling in all across the country, crying or screaming or begging for it to be turned off. Something kept their eyes attached to the screen and kept them listening to the broadcast. People assumed the control room was finally gone into, and the bump was shut down. ending a traumatic experience no one can undoubtedly forget. In the last few seconds, as the resounding melody grew into an unbearable volume, the channel showed the peaking sun winking at the viewer, and the channel cutting to bars and tones. How was Cartoon Network going to cut this up? No one knows their exact tactic to this day. Multiple theories have been thought of, ranging from preemptive cease and desist to possible news archives to subliminal viewer hypnosis over the following weeks. While all public evidence does not officially exist, Cartoon Network fixers do acknowledge a hijacking of the channel's frequency on the day but go into no further detail. All 8 knowing dumbbells, including the Dawn is Your Enemy one, were replaced with the corresponding ones from the 1:30 a.m. time slot. Word is, however, that someone hidden in an Onion site, accessible only via Tor, is a recording of the bump played that morning. The question asked the most among the few who remember this is, how did Cartoon Network get the audio in the first place?